folks, it's 2 o'clock. We'll call this meeting of the County Commissioners to order. Please join us for the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks everybody for being here today. We will begin today's agenda with the approval of minutes of our previous meeting.
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the minutes of the February 7 meeting. For department reports, first up we have from Community Corrections, Director Michelle Dudley. Michelle?
I need to get approval for 2 part-time hires, and I sent you their information. Email this morning, Stephen and Brad. They both do part-time facilitating classes and work crew and some coverage in the dorm.
Okay. I guess everyone else, looked those over. One of those applicants we declined to hire once before.
And 19 because he had just gotten off of community service.
He was on community service at that time.
Yeah. He had just gotten off of it in August of 19. I pulled the email up where I sent it to you. And I was told then that to give him more time to prove that, I mean, we've been hiring people. You guys are hiring people that are on the program and wearing an ankle bracelet. He had no jail time, no ankle bracelet, nothing, just community service.
Okay. I don't want to do all the talking on this. Anyone have any feelings about this request?
I don't know if Michelle's happy with it. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
Take her for what she recommends. I'll move to approve both of them.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the 144 request to hire Steve Brack and Brad Beeson. And both these are part-time positions, part-time employment at Community Corrections. Is there any further questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane.
I also have on the advisory board 2 term, well, actually 3 that have expired at the end of the year. One of those positions is the ex-offender Danny Floyd, so I would like for him to be reappointed. And the other is Jane, and I haven't talked to Jane, but I would like for her to be reappointed. And then the third one would be Adrian Ellis's position, and I have someone in mind for that. However, I want to verify it with her before I bring the name over to you. His position was the minority position as a lay.
Okay, so you have 2 positions?
I need 2 approved today, Jane's and Danny's.
Okay.
Those appointments are for a 4-year term by statute. Those were up at the end of '22.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve your 2 request appointments for Danny Floyd and Jane Downer to your advisory board.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to appoint Danny Floyd and Jane Downard to a new 4-year term on the Community Corrections Board. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. And you'll be back with the third appointment?
Yeah, I want to talk to her first. And it's someone that goes to the jail now and has since the 80s. and works a lot with the females. And I thought with opening the new facility that she would probably be a very good person to sit in that position. So I'll bring that back to you when I talk to her. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you, Michelle. In the county extension office, we have Heather Caldwell with a 144 request. Heather? I saw you earlier today galloping down Central Avenue about 25 miles an hour.
Well, I don't know about that. But I was galloping down, yes. It was a beautiful day. Have to be outside on a day like today, right? I do have a 144 for office manager. As you know, Stephanie Ruff resigned in January. We had several applications, which was really positive, and we've got a new hire, and she will be planning to start on March the 7th. So I have the official form here for you guys.
Okay, is this Melissa Sparks?
Yes. So we're looking forward to having that position filled, and thank you guys for your patience with, I know the office had to be closed a couple of times, so thank you all for that. Appreciate that.
Where did you find Melissa?
Well, she found us. She just turned in an application, and I'm actually not quite sure, how she heard about us, to tell you the truth. We put it on the website. It was on our social media pages. Word of mouth really seemed to get around quite a bit as well. So one of those, I should have asked her at the interview for sure which one of those places she found us.
Okay.
So we're excited.
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the 144 request for the extension office for the hire of a new office manager, being Melissa Sparks.
Yes.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. There you go.
Thank you.
Bring Melissa around and introduce her.
I will, absolutely. She'll be coming to a meeting to say hi once we get her on board there. So.
Okay.
We got a few things to touch base with you as well about. You all should have gotten in your mailbox an invitation to our annual meeting on March 14th. So the public is invited. CHS graduate Matt McCutcheon, who was a TV news anchor for Channel 13 in Indianapolis, he's our guest speaker. So we're really looking forward to that event. As I said, March 14th, 6 p.m. at the Miller Building. So anyone is welcome to come, but we do need RSVPs for food. A meal will be served. It's $15 per person as well. 4-H enrollments are up from last year. I'm really excited about that. We've got about 20 more what we call traditional youth enrolled, which is the 3rd through 12th graders. And we've got about 10 more youth than last year in our mini program, which is kindergarten through 2nd grade. So we've been pretty steady the last 2 or 3 years, so I'm excited to see a little bit of an uptick. We were able to get into the schools this year and do some promotions in the schools. This is the first time since COVID that we've been able to get in. So we hope to continue that promotion and get into all the schools. We didn't get into every one of them, but hopefully we will next year. So I think that helps in talking to kids and getting them excited about the projects and stuff. Really seemed to be a positive thing. 4-H workshops are starting to happen. We've got basketry, leathercraft, different kind of workshops, so people will notice on social media that those are going to be advertised. We also email all of our 4-H members to let them know about that information. We've got a 4-H open house March 18th. That is at Expo Hall. That's on a Saturday. The public can come and learn more about 4-H. The deadline, we say that in quotes, the deadline for signing up for 4-H is January 15th, but people still can sign up. The reason we have that January deadline is that's when we roll over our new system. And so if someone signs up for, let's say, basketry in June, they've missed the workshops that have already happened in April and May, that kind of thing. So that's why we have that deadline, just because then we start sending out notices of workshops, animal IDs, that kind of thing. So that is March 18th, 10 to noon at Expo Hall. Public is welcome to attend. And one final thing, we do have a program that we're partnering with Falmouth Farm Supply there in Falmouth. Jenny Nobby and I are going to be doing a program together. She's going to be doing grain marketing, and I'll be talking about farm succession planning. So that is a women in ag program that we're working on together, and RSVPs to our office as well for that by next Monday, I think. So we got a lot going on. 4-H is revving up. Here we go. So it's time. That's all I got. You guys have any questions?
I wouldn't know where to start.
Fair enough. Me neither.
You
I have to
got-
write it down or I'll forget all the things.
Well, you've got a lot going on.
We do. We're busy, and we're it's always the state, the extension office has always said the extension is Indiana's best kept secret, and I'm working to make it not so here in Fayette County. We've got a lot of ag programs. Stephanie McCurdy, as you know, she just marked her 6-month anniversary here in our office last week, and she's really revving up some of her nutrition programs as well. So you'll start seeing a lot more of that coming up soon as well. So we're busy. We're moving.
Are there any questions for Stephanie? Or for-
I threw too many names at you.
Yeah, you've got me confused.
I know, see?
For Heather, I mean.
I don't,
Well, thank you very much, Heather.
All right, you
for the
bet.
report.
You bet. Thank you very much.
Okay, prosecutor's office, is Betty here?
yep.
Betty Jones.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Got some, do you want the original, Jane, or do you want me to do what to do? Yeah. So, just as a recap of where we are staff-wise with my office, last year I knew I had the blessing of 3 gals in my office who were about the same age, had a lot in common, and got along great. And one of the things they have in common is the year of their retirement. So that means that I have the first real, we've been a really steady office. We don't lose very many people. And then retirement comes along and it's just been a whirlwind. Last year, I was fortunate enough to be gifted by the county an extra position for training, and there were benefits to that at the time because I'm losing retired positions that have lots of years, and so their salary through longevity was higher. So now as I'm replacing the salary that is actually being paid is lower. But 2 of these positions, really 2.5 of these positions, are our child support office. And they do the 4D collections. And through 4D collections, not only are our expenditures reimbursed because they're 4D eligible, but we also generate income in 3 different lines. I believe that's right, 3 different lines in the county. We have the clerk's office gets some, the county gets some, and the prosecutor's office gets some. And we use those funds to in our budget to run our office so that we're certainly not self-sustaining, but we use as much as we can out of what we generate in our incentives. That's what it's called, is incentives. So the better that collection is, the more that we bring back into the county to help fund these offices and fund these programs. So I was really concerned about making sure that we kept qualified, well-trained applicants, well-trained people in those positions. And I was then granted an overlap position for training. So we hired someone some time ago, and she has been fabulous. And now, beginning in, let's see, April 30th is one retirement date. And that is actually, that's probably the position that I, so we had a retirement December 31st. I got ahead of myself. One of our child support case managers retired December 31st. So in my budget, there is under 4D, the 10-130 has been empty since January 1. So nothing has been expended from that line of the budget this year so far. I am asking to fill that position. I have interviewed and chosen the applicant. Her name is Grace Wilson. She's energetic, bright, is young with a significant work history. Two things that I think are both good, but the significant history was, work history was pretty impressive. I think she's been working since she was 16, and that's a good long time for her now, but. Then what will happen is the next retirement on April 30th would be 10/128, which is the highest salary in the 4D budget. So that will come down about $10,000 when that person is replaced. And it's my thought that if so the child support, in the middle of all of this retiring and losing 3 office members, the state's child support is finally, after saying for my entire career as a prosecutor, which is now 20 years, that we were going to get a new computer system to run child support collection. March 6th is now our training date. So I want to start Ms. Wilson on March 6th so that she can be starting in with the other case manager as well to train. Then the next one that goes that will retire will be a child support position. And I'm looking now for a replacement for Mrs. Daw in our office. Linda Reese will be the next retirement, and then Ruth Ann Daw, who is the front desk, so that's going to be maybe a challenge, but I'm hoping that you all will, their retirement dates are so close that I will probably be coming to you and asking that we be able to hire the next replacement a little sooner, because part of that job, 50% of that job, is considered 4D, and I want them to be able to take advantage of some of the training as well. Probably get it in late, but for the primary, it's not as important for the primary case manager, but for the support staff of that, it's still important. And I'm hoping, since we have not paid anything for the first 2 months, and that we are reducing the budget really because of the hire of a new person without longevity, that you all will be willing, when I come back, to give me that next person a little early so that I'm doing some of the training all together, rather than starting over and having to send them to the state or something for some of, I don't know what my option will be for the new programming, but I think it'll be a lot easier if we do it early on. But I don't have that person chosen yet, so I can't ask you to do that. But today I'm only asking that you approve Ms. Wilson.
Okay, well, Betty, we've seen similar situations to what you just described. Personally, I'm okay with starting someone a little early to get them trained up, as long as the money is there to pay for it, you know. We'll have to without seeing those figures, I have no idea right now how that works out. But this 144 request that we have here is for which one of the people?
The one that retired December 31st. You added a position last year.
Well, you do have a person in mind for this position, right?
Grace Wilson, yes.
Grace Wilson.
Grace Wilson.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna pencil her name in here.
Okay.
Okay.
And the lady that, Kathy Paw was in here today gloating about how wonderful retirement is. She stopped by for a visit. She's the one that left on December 31st. She looks great.
Okay. Well, you know, I don't recommend retirement to anyone. I don't think it's good for you.
To each his own. I can't quite count down the days, but I'm gonna retire.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Betty on this?
No, I think we should approve. I make it on your recommendation for hire here for Grace Wilson to start, you said by March 6th. So
We
she-
have that as her start date. I believe that's a Monday.
Yeah. that's-
And I'll be in a trial, so it'll be
I think
real
it's
fun.
good. Yeah. I think it's good.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to approve the 144 request for the prosecutor for the hire of Grace Wilson to begin on March 6th. Any further question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane.
I want to invite you all, thank you so much. And I want to invite you all down to the office after the meeting if you want to see the progress on our construction. We are still waiting for that window, but I cannot tell you how appreciative that I am, as well as the rest of my staff, that for the first time we are going to have a locked door between the public entry and us, which will certainly be a great security feature for us. We've never had that, even though the courts did. I guess everybody thinks judges are bigger targets than prosecutors, but I don't know. I hope.
Well, I've been peeping in periodically, see how that has progressed, and what's done so far looks good.
It looks good. I think we're just waiting on that window before it can be completed and trimmed out and unveiled. We'll have you over for a ribbon cutting, Dale.
Well, thanks, Betty.
You're welcome.
Well, I apologize that this little project has taken so long, but you know as well as I do, we have tried to hurry this along, and,
I do, and I do an occasional text.
yeah, okay.
All right?
I guess persistence pays.
Yes. We'll see.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, Highway Department, Jay Havlin, what all do you have for us today?
Well, I've got a 144 for you for a mechanic. Let me find it here.
Thank you, sir.
I've got him scheduled to come in next Monday. So it'll be next Monday, we off Monday?
No, to start working Monday?
Yeah.
Is he coming in Friday to do his new employee paperwork? Okay. That's why I give you the look, I'm sorry. I was like, Monday.
Okay, so this is the guy you picked?
I've talked to quite a few people about him, they all thought he did good work. We'll see how he works out.
Okay.
Is he from Connersville,
He's from Brookfield.
Brookville?
Any more questions for Jay on this request?
Has he been a mechanic?
Yes. Now, I'll have one, be putting an ad in the paper for a truck driver for the 3rd, because that's when one guy is retiring, the 3rd of March. So that's just a week away.
I'll move to approve 144.
I'll second that.
Okay, we've got a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the 144 request of the Highway Department for the hire of Mitchell. Is that Boger?
Boger, yeah. B-O-G-E-R, I think it is.
Yeah, Mitchell Boger as a department mechanic. Is there any further question? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Okay. Do you want to say anything about the distributor truck today?
Well, I'll put it on hold, and I'll call them and tell them it's gonna be a couple weeks out before we decide anything on it. We'll do all we can to figure out check what we talked about.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope we discover something in this.
You never know,
Yeah.
till you go in and try to do it, you don't know. We're gonna be putting cans in out on 300 and out by the garage back there on 150, on Williams Creek. There's a can goes there, and we got about 6 or 8 more to do after that. When the weather lets us, we'll go out and put them in. That's all we can do.
Okay. Do you have any idea right now how many there will be on 300?
I know there's 4 on the very east end of it. And there's 1 more down the road before you go into Wellsview, going up the hill that needs replaced. Right in the middle of where you come off the highway and start up that hill going to Wellsview, right in the middle of that section, there's a long can there that needs replaced. We're gonna get it.
Okay.
And I don't think there's any more, but I'll double check and make sure.
Well, it's not too early to get started on that one. So, Joe Lisa, is it reasonable to believe that we may possibly get into the community crossings project by July this year?
Usually, if we are awarded this last go-around that we put in for, a lot of time we're doing the paperwork in about June. So usually it's around August, September is about time when the paving seems to start. We're always pushing the deadline to get the paint on the roads.
Yeah,
Okay.
about the same as last year.
Well, last year seemed like things happened a little faster than they did.
They got it done quick too, though.
Yeah.
They finished those roads real quick last year. But yeah, we'll have that one ready, and I think that's the only one scheduled to be done. Decide what we're gonna do ourselves.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Not that I can think of right offhand. We'll have the brush cutter out during the rain and do some trimming. I'll put a couple people out flagging with him, keep them from running over him.
Yeah.
I have a question about what we talked about with the drive that out there, the Weiler's Body Shop drive that's coming out on the road. Have you been able to?
I went out and looked at it. I haven't been out to talk to him yet, but we'll probably send a crew out there and just scrape it down and feather back their drive and then ditch it down the road to get the water off the road. That's the easiest way to do it. I'll probably have 3 crews out doing ditching. Well, I can still got the dry enough ground to do it. I don't remember that sticking out in the road that bad,
Yeah, it's
but
gotten
you might have
really
had
bad.
more gravel and put it out there. I don't know. But it's out the
I
road
think
pretty good.
it's because it's probably on that hill. kind
Oh
of.
yeah, I drove across it,
Washes
and when
down.
you hit it, you really know it. But yeah, we'll get it.
Okay. Thanks, Jay. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Emergency Management Director Wade Walling. Wade, do you have something?
I don't have I'm not requesting anything, but I did briefly want to go over a couple of things. I handed out a document to the 3 of you. This is just a list of my current projects, and I'm not going to go through all of them. It's an extensive list and where I'm at with the process. But I did want to make sure that you all had that, and if you had questions, answer any questions. And I did want to report that we held our first local area planning, emergency planning commission, our council meeting on February 16th. It was well turned out. We had a lot of our members there. We voted on the chair, vice chair, and the treasurer. I was nominated and voted in as the chair for the LAPC. Scott Jones, the Connersville Fire Department, is the vice chair, and Clint Brown is the treasurer secretary. Kelly Van Meter is also helping by doing meeting minutes, and has kind of given her a front row seat to how emergency management operates in Fayette County. So I think it's good that she's there and filling that role, because it's really going to help her better understand how first responders do things out in the community and give her that firsthand experience. But we're off to a great start. Chairman Cranfield's a member on the committee. and we're moving along forward nicely. We're keeping up with our deadlines with the state, which makes us eligible for funding for that. And Jane and I both found out last week that there's actually a dedicated fund for that in the county. And it's the local planning and a right to know fund. Is that right, Jane?
Yes.
So the last time that had money deposited into it was 2015. So there's still a $3,500 balance in that fund. Our local emergency planning committee can appropriate those funds to do what we need to with it, whether that's equipment, support, material, whatever. But there is money there, not a lot, but we will be making a budget for next year, bringing it to the commissioners for approval, and then we have to send it to the state to get their approval for it. The funds are always reimbursed by the state for this committee, so I've been talking to my counterparts in Rush, Wayne, and Union County, and all of their funds are roughly around $30,000 to $40,000 for equipment and materials each year. We're nowhere near that. But that being said, there's several grants I am applying for, including the HELP grant for a response trailer, incident command blow-up tent, and warming shelter. So there's a lot of projects going on in my office right now. So I'm here and happy to answer any questions you might have.
Anybody got any questions for Wade?
Right, thank you.
Good.
Thanks, Wade. Hey, Grant Administrator Jolisa Bates is here. Jolisa, you are up.
Okay, I think I was down in the new business. Do you want me to go ahead and present it now, or wait?
Well, you might as well. I'm just going down the list.
I thought it was polite to ask. I was already making my way though. I am here today, and we've heard a lot of discussion about the opioid settlement and the restrictions that were placed on the funds. Today, I'm here to ask the commissioners for permission to submit a grant application to the state of Indiana for their opioid settlement match grant. What this is when the lawsuit was completed, the state of Indiana received roughly $250 million of that lawsuit, and the way they're going to give it back to the communities is through their grant process. So this first one that has come out from that $250 million, the pot of money there is $25 million. They have stated that the communities who are interested in submitting an application for this, that any of the agencies that they're partnering with or collaborating with must receive some of the opioid settlement funds that the county received in December. That was kind of one of the requirements that was of this. They also wanted anybody who was participating in the program to be somebody who is already working in the community, fighting against substance use disorder, harm prevention, those type of things. I know you guys have probably seen this, so I won't go through every bit of it. That being said, what I wanted to request today is approval to submit the grant application. There's 7 other agencies in the community that's working in collaboration with projects. So I wanted to request permission to go ahead and to submit that in collaboration with the city of Huntersville. They've also agreed to participate in it. And also for the restricted opioid settlement that was paid out in December, so the $110,687.80 of those restricted funds, I would like to use those as matching funds for this particular grant project. So I would ask that the commissioners would allow us to use that as matching funds, but put that as pending grant approval. That way, if something does happen and the grant's not approved, then those individual agencies can come back with other projects that they will be able to sustain and able to do without this grant funding. So I just threw a lot of information out there. Questions?
I got any questions for Julissa?
I don't.
Okay, Julissa, you said there's 7 organizations involved in this application,
Yes,
okay? And we're talking about using the restricted portion of the distribution only, right?
correct.
Okay,
Every one of the organizations, as well as the program or project that they have submitted to put in this collaborated application, meets what is stated in the Exhibit E. That was submitted to you guys with the opioid settlement. They fit that category. There were some of them that had to be certified through DMHA to participate in the projects that they were wanting. They have to have evidence based on every program and project. So it's a little bit challenging to make sure that it fits in there, but we have worked with them extensively and will continue to do so to make sure that it all falls under the guidelines.
I know you had to really hustle to get all this pulled together in such short notice.
Yes, it's due to 20.
Okay. I can't think of anything else on this right this minute. Anybody got any more, Julissa?
No.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and authorize Julissa to submit the application in collaboration with the city to apply for the opioid settlement matching grant and to use the restricted opioid settlement money of $110,687.80.
That's contingent that we get the
Contingent.
grant.
On grant award, yes.
Right.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale to approve the grant application on the opioid settlement program. I've heard so many names to describe this, I'm kind of running out of.
State of Indiana opioid settlement match grant.
Okay, did you get that, Jane? Okay. Any further questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Now, on a similar note, we've received information just in recent days that there's going to be probably a new distribution.
Yes, the second settlement.
Does anybody know yet how this will work?
I am not aware if anybody knows. I'm sure there's somebody out there that knows, but I don't have any information on it. I think they're still putting the details together. Jeff would probably be the best one to ask on that. I do know, just to throw it in there, that the state of Indiana will be coming out with another grant program. We don't know how similar it will be to this one, but once that second settlement comes out, there will be another grant opportunity come open through the state of Indiana. So something to keep in mind.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, I guess we'll find out when they let us know then.
Thank you.
Lisa. Sheriff Zach Jones, do you have anything for us?
Yes, sir. Last meeting I had mentioned trying to find a vehicle. I think Reedman's has one for us. It's a 2017 Dodge Durango Police Edition. He just got it in last week and we took it for a test drive. It's a nice vehicle for what we're going to use it for. He hasn't set an exact price, but he said it's probably $19,500 or less. So I just needed to get approval to buy that because we don't have enough money in our budget to get 2 trucks like we normally do. So I told a couple different car lots to find me a Durango or an SUV for less than $20,000, and he's came up with one. Tim's Auto also found one, but they've sold it since the last meeting. So.
Okay, so you have a current appropriation that would take
Yes,
care of
it's in our budget, yes.
Okay.
How many miles on it, you know?
99,000 and some change, so it's under 100,000. That was another criteria, and he just met it. I wanted under 100,000. And this isn't going to be a road patrol vehicle. This is going to be one of the detectives will have this, and then their vehicle is going to go to a better use.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the sheriff's request, purchase of a 99,
2017.
2017,
or 2017, okay, a 2017 Dodge truck.
the antique.
Yeah.
Bill relates to that.
I'm familiar with antiques.
Antiques.
Okay, any further question? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Hi.
3 ayes, Jane.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Surveyor Bill Mackey. Bill, do you have anything else today?
On the time extension on Bridge 90 that you signed last week, your engineer, he wanted to change his change order to time, how do you word it? No, I thought it was the waiver, yeah, time waiver. So I just need you to sign it again, Dale, and I'll get back to him. Everything's the same, he just didn't like the extension for the grass to grow. He wanted to call it a waiver. I mean, he's the one that wrote it, and he said, sign it, he wants to just go ahead and change it to waiver instead of extension, that way. Doesn't act like they're giving them time to do more work, just the grass to grow.
Okay.
So that's all it is, that's everything else, it's just the same, you change one word
Okay.
from extension to
To
waiver.
waiver.
Time waiver, time extension to time waiver, so it's the exact same thing you signed last week, except one word changed.
Okay.
But he still has to make sure the grass grows.
Yeah, still have to have by end of May, 70%. So,
Same agreement that we had.
yeah, same agreement, same thing, everything, it's just the one word he put in originally wasn't comfortable with, that's why I want to change it from extension to waiver.
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the requested waiver order for Bridge 90. Any further question? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. All right. We'll take care of this waiver now. There you go, Bill.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay, thanks. County Attorney, do you have anything for us today?
I don't believe so.
You know, we had a recent communication from the law firm that represented us in the opioid settlement matter,
Great.
advising us to have this new settlement on our agenda in February and March. Because there's a, what was that, it's early April, wasn't it an early April deadline
Early April, yes.
for us to do something, and I haven't seen
They haven't told us
anything.
what to do yet.
They haven't told us what to do yet.
And the reason I think they said February and March in case it takes 2 hearings, but they send that out in a group to all the towns, cities and counties, and a lot of their government bodies only meet once a month. So I think that's why they wanted it February and March. So as long as we have it on the agenda for both meetings in March, I don't have any issues.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll be able to advise what we're actually doing in that one.
Yeah, well, this came from TAPS, as I remember.
No,
Cohen and a lot.
yeah.
Cohen, okay. We've got too many law firms.
We've got too many law firms in. Yeah, no, Cohen's the one that handles all that national opioid stuff
Okay.
for the state of most of the entities in the state of Indiana.
I wanted to make sure we wasn't missing anything on this, because I hadn't seen anything else since then, and I didn't know if you had or not.
I have not. I forward everything that even before I read it, I forward it to Jane. And then if there's issues, we usually go over it. But I've not seen anything, and they've not really given us any direction on how they want us to go. They usually give us that as soon as they can. So my guess is when things like that happen, they end up moving the deadline back.
Okay, well, I want to make sure we wasn't letting anything slip by us today on that, because,
That's right.
okay. All right. Council Representative Vivian, do you have anything you need to bring to the commissioners?
No, sir, just keeping in touch touch with everybody.
Okay,
I did talk to Heather about, Margie Jones was our 4-H leader, of course, owning Buckaroos. She passed away this last week, and I asked Heather, and she had put it on her website. Margie was a 60 years 4-H leader. I guessed way short. But we bought our first Appaloosa for Margie, and it was the last gelding she had raised herself, and then I bought a couple babies from her, and we, Heather is still in the horse world, and she is now training quarter horses, and we've got a couple world champions, and we had, 2021, we had the national champion, that was one of our babies we raised and trained, she sold. And Margie got a bunch of great kids into horses, and there's still a lot of them out there. She's a great mentor to these kids.
okay, well, thank you for that. Anyone have any mail they want to share? Under old business, we still have the issue of the jail air handling units replacement bid. And I want to share this with you. I talked to the Kevin Whitesell, who represents North Mechanical, who is the company that we only got the one bid from. And I know that the engineer from DLZ is expecting us to, what, Jeff, either accept or reject this bid.
They sent a recommendation to us.
Yeah, the last email I got from him said he was recommending we use this company, but the company rep says, you know, wait a minute, you guys don't have to spend over $800,000 on this thing.
That's exactly right.
You know, we can do and accomplish what we need to do and not spend all that money. His recommendation was not to just approve the bid as received, and he's suggesting that we sit down and talk about this thing in a way that we can all understand what really needs to be done and not done. So as far as the bid, last meeting we took it under advisement. We don't want to just buy this thing as is. So legally, what do we need to do here? Just
I would feel more comfortable if we just rejected the bid and then to keep discussing it, and then at some point in time send it out again and let others bid on it. They'll be the only company that probably does, as they were this time. But get out of the realm of the engineers being involved in that world. Does that make sense?
that would make things less complicated if we could get out of the engineering aspect of it.
Agreed. And they gave us some benefit because we know what we need.
Yeah.
Now, if we reject their bid, is it okay that we also would accept, within, it was 60 days, right? If we talk with them?
Yeah, the bid they turned in was good for 60 days.
So, I mean,
That we don't want to go that long without sitting down and talking to them.
right.
And I don't love the idea of accepting their bid but then changing it and modifying it, because then did we really give anybody else a chance to bid the project?
Well, we did. No, we only got one bidder.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we completely
But if
change
you
the,
change
if
the
we completely change the
requirements,
scope of the work.
You have to re-advertise.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would rather just kind of say we're rejecting this project in its entirety, essentially, start discussing with them, and then just send out a new opportunity for somebody to bid the project. Are you following me?
Yeah, I think so. My frustration with this is the longer it goes, the more expensive it gets.
you're not wrong, but it won't take us a whole lot of time to advertise for it and get bids. It won't, I mean, I don't think that's something that we need to drag on for months and months.
Okay.
So would we meet, excuse me, so would we meet with Mr. Whiteside? Got it left.
Right, so
Yeah, Whiteside. Do we meet with him,
Yeah,
get
it-
his recommendation, and then put that as a,
It's just like any other bids we
Process.
receive, yeah, just like, we don't have to, it doesn't have to be as formal as what this was when we involved our engineers. We just have to allow other companies to be able to bid it.
or use his?
And we don't even have to do necessarily open bids on it. If the amount's, under what I think it's gonna be, then we could just reach out to a few companies to see if they can give us quotes.
So we need to make a motion to reject this.
I know it's over 800,000. I don't know, I guess I don't know how much the new quote is looking at. How much are we thinking it's going to be? Okay, so yes, we will have to do open bids.
There's 3 years
I was
ago,
thinking it was
was
gonna be,
400.
I was thinking, well, I know, but I was thinking what they had told us we may only need to do might significantly. I was thinking like it might be $100,000 project now.
Well, I wish.
So I'm optimistic, that's how I live life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, yes, we'll have to do public bids again, but I wouldn't let that deter you. I feel more comfortable redoing it than I do not giving people the opportunity to bid something that we grossly change.
Okay. So the only thing we really need to do today is just reject the original bid.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to reject the previous bid on air handling system at the jail from North Mechanical. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Okay, we'll leave it there and we'll set up a time to meet with this fellow, talk to him about this. Okay? And see what,
So I was certain, Jane gave me a look, I was definitely more optimistic than I should have been, huh?
yeah, I think you were. I like the way you think, though. Okay, that'll take care of that. We also, it's time to renew, actually a little past time to renew annual contracts with the 3 volunteer fire departments that we subscribe to, and we give each one $5,000 a year for their services. That is the Glenwood Fire Department, Bentonville Fire Department, and the Everton Fire Department. All 3 of these are the same. Tracy, you ever seen one of those?
Yeah, similar to our township.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we renew our annual contract with Glenwood, Everton, and Bentonville Volunteer Fire Departments for $5,000 annually.
Okay, I'll second that motion. You want to do a roll call on this or voice vote?
However, I'll just abstain.
Okay. Dale wants to abstain on this vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
2 ayes, Jane, and 1 abstention. Dale's going to abstain because he's a member of the Glenwood Fire Department. Okay? Under patron concerns, we have Julie Gollier. Is that right? Julie Gollier is here. Julie, you come up and you're representing Farm Bureau, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Tell us about your program.
Hi, I'm Julie Gollier. I'm with Indiana Farm Bureau Incorporated. So I'm a regional manager. I cover District 8. I actually live in Wayne County and Cambridge City, but I cover Franklin County, Fayette, Gator, Rush, Shelby, and Union counties. So I am basically like a liaison between the county Farm Bureau boards and the state. We wear a lot of hats as regional managers, but we're here to help. I earlier was speaking with the commissioners. I don't know if you heard me, Mr. Strong, but on the broadband issue, which is statewide and probably all over the country, that we don't have very good broadband. Indiana Farm Bureau Incorporated has a speed test, which I have several cards up front. You can find it on our website as well. You can do it from your phone. You can do it as many times as you want. All over your house, driving, whatever, and it tells what the speed is and if you have service, bad service, things like that. But part of my job is to help the counties that I have to be broadband ready so they can get the funds from the feds to get better broadband. And that's just one of the many things that we do. But I'll be coming periodically to your commissioner meetings just to keep updated on what's going on in the county. And please just remember that I'm here as a resource. So if something agriculture is coming up, I'm here to help. Do a lot of things, even with the city council, county council, the mayors of the cities, all kinds of things, lots of hats there, but obviously ag related. So. But here to help you. If you have any questions, let me know. I've left you all my business cards. You can call me, text me, email, whichever you need. Thank you for having me. Let me speak for a moment.
Well, Julie, thanks for stopping in. It just so happens that a little over 2 weeks ago, a broadband project, a rural broadband project, has been in the works for 3 years, has finally crossed the county line from Franklin County into ours. And they're working down there right now, burying fiber optic cable, and they'll soon be doing hookups. But that project will not cover the entire county. Now, are you involved in anything that can help us expand on this project?
Yes, I can get some of your contact information, or if you can shoot me an email later today or something. I'll CC you in some emails with some key players that can help the county get that ball rolling.
Okay. I know the project that's ongoing right now is a result of a reverse auction that the FCC held about 3.5 or 4 years ago. And when the next auction will be, I don't know. But that's above my pay grade, and that's why we let people like you take care of these things.
I can't say that I personally know all the ins and outs on it, but I do know the key players that I can help you get, like get some meetings together, get a broadband task force together, and then showing them the feds that you're broadband ready by doing these certain things with these key players in the room may then allow us to get better broadband across the county. I know a lot of counties that I'm dealing with, and I'm assuming you've kind of had, and correct me if I'm wrong, had the same issue where this company or that company says they're going to lay fiber and they're going to do X, Y, Z, and then they only do part of it, or they only can get this section, but they can't get that section, just like you spoke at the southern part of the county, but not the rest of the county. So those are things we definitely want to be able to help with. And because this affects all, our entire communities, not just agriculture, so we all need to have good internet.
Well, I hope we can be useful to each other.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope I can help you as well. Just let me know what I can do. But yes, send me an email or something from one of you, and then I'll get you, or call me and get you set up with some others.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any patron concerns? Do you have anything?
No, just here to say hi.
Okay. Well, that takes care of our agenda, unless you have anything else.
Move to pay claims and they were approved, paying claims.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy,
Yeah, second.
to approve claims and payroll. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Are we forgetting anything? That's a
Maybe.
trick question.
It's not on me.
We forgetting anything, Jane?
Hope not.
Okay.
Adjournment.
I second that.
We have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you all very much.